Let's turn to Europe. The Prime Minister consistently claims that he rules nothing out. But isn't it the case that by rubbishing the Norwegian option, as he did last week, it's pretty clear he is determined to stay in?
Well, look, it's fairly plain that he wants to get an outcome to his negotiation. Whether it's going to be good enough or not, we'll maybe come back to. But you know, he wants to get an outcome which allows him to come back and say, "I recommend." That's been apparent from the beginning. The raw truth is, you know, attacking the Norwegian option is sort of irrelevant. I mean, we're a much bigger country than Norway. We're bigger than Switzerland. We're going to get a better deal with either of them. So they're sort of irrelevant arguments, really. But yeah, sure, he wants to be able to negotiate to stay in.
But the EU is in crisis. Many people, again, on your side say, look, a British exit, it's such a crisis at the moment that a British exit could be a catalyst for the whole demise of the EU project. So why doesn't the Prime Minister make much tougher demands as the price for staying in? It would be a catastrophe if Europe was to lose us at the moment.
He's caught in a conundrum. The conundrum is this: if he makes I mean, I broadly would agree with that argument. I would say you should make extremely tough demands. Tell the British public it's a negotiation. You're not going to get everything, but you know, we'll come back and put the outcome to you. The trouble is, I think the analysis the Prime Minister approaches with was any failure to achieve a complete success would be used as a weapon to beat him with, and therefore he was going to aim lower in the hope he'd get 100% success for what he aims at. I think it's a wrong analysis, in truth. I think the high bar with an acceptance you don't get everything would have been the smarter approach.
Like a trade union leader, you go in asking for £5 a week more, and you settle for £4 or £3.50.
Exactly. I mean, when I negotiated with the union, we tried to get tough demands, and we didn't get everything, you know, because we were outnumbered. You know, 14 to 1, now 26 to 1, I think, whatever it is, 27 to 1. So of course you don't get everything. But here, for the very reason you say, Europe is no longer in a position, in a strong position. Its primary experiment, euro, is in a terrible state, and therefore we've got the stronger arguments.
Isn't it inevitable, though, even given that when we finally get to know what the Prime Minister is asking for in some detail, and we may get that by the time of the summit in December, isn't it just the blunt truth that a huge chunk of your party, maybe most of it, is going to be deeply disappointed by the paucity of his demands?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think the truth of the matter is that everybody's got conditioned to the fact that the demands will be not the sort of substantive constitutional changes that some of us wanted, and people therefore are beginning to shake their position to the stance they take. One of the things about this, however, is that unlike, let's say, Maastricht, there is the option of the referendum. They've got that option to exercise, and they will try and get a resolution that way. And so that will actually pacify the thing from some point of view.
Let me come to tax credits. Should the